Hey everybody, second video of the day. I suggest see my other video. Yeah, so you know what bothers me about pushy Christians? Okay, I had the Jehovah's Witnesses catch me at home. They've been coming quite a bit, and I've always been at work, but this time they caught me. And thank, Zeus that they didn't have a lot of time, but they had enough time to give me the propaganda and ask me what I thought about hell. And I always have to chuckle when people say, well, what do you think about hell? Or what do you think hell is? I already knew what they believed because that's what the cult that I grew up in thought about hell. They believe that it doesn't exist and that hell is like a one-time deal, and then you're in, you die, like you die. Like if I set myself on fire right now, that would be the same fate as what they're saying hell is. And so when they ask me this question, I always sit there and I'm like, well, do you want me to tell you what I think hell is, or you want me to tell you what people think hell is? People think hell is fire that you burn in forever and mashing of the teeth and all that stuff. And so what I said was, well, do you want the logical side? Do you want the, or do you want the, no, I said, do you want the historical side? Like, you mean the town in Israel, hell, the place in Israel? Garbage pit that they used to burn stuff in? All right. So that didn't really fly over too, they didn't really say anything to it, but, so, okay, well, blah, 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 what, I said, or do you want me to say, oh yeah, you're in, well, here's what we believe about hell, and they give me the literature, and it goes straight to the garbage, and, I really hate throwing it in the garbage. I wish I had a fireplace so I could at least, use the resources for something other than, filling garbage dumps, but I don't, and, yeah, I don't, and so that's what I did. I threw it away. I wish it was like white paper or something that I could write on. But anyway, okay, that being said, it got me thinking. I really hate pushy believers, pushy Christians, because they are really self-righteous. They really think they know something that you don't, especially in these cultish type churches. They have the only truth, like the Worldwide Church of God. That's the cult that I belong to before it, disintegrated and fractured off into many other, some believing in the same and some becoming like evangelical stuff. But they really thought they had the corner market on the truth, and that God only selected like 144,000 people because in the Bible it says 144,000. Or the build-up was going to be to 144,000 that we're going to be able to understand. This is the funny part about the church I went to, was that in order to understand the Bible, you had to get the Spirit. Otherwise, you'd be lost, and that's where all these other religions are wrong, was because they didn't. There's only a certain amount of people that God's going to let in on the secret until He lets the whole world in. But until then, the world's going to end. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. Okay, I don't want to get too far into that. So I was part of that, growing up. Thought I had the corner on the truth, and that I knew the truth. And my friends, I could tell them, even though I wasn't a baptized member myself. I could tell them because, I somewhat understood having to sit in those 2-hour brainwashing sessions, but they wouldn't understand. And that sort of fit quite well because the crazy ideas that were coming out of this cult, who would understand? But it's funny, on my videos on I Grew Up in a Cult, I still get people that are on some of the fractured off from the church I went to, and who are still hardcore, I got a message. Anyway, I'll take this later, but so anyway, yeah, so I still got, these hardcores. Oh, I wonder if that's making an effect on my video. People saying how it is the truth and blah, 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 blah. So, I was watching a Yokeup video. I happened to see somebody rated it, and every time I see like a rating low, I always want to go check and see why they're rating it low or what he's saying. And he's sort of throwing this, he's got the only truth, or at least, his version of the truth is, you know, is so much more. Basically, he's talking to the non-believers, and he's saying that how can you be a Christian, growing up a Christian, you know, receive the Holy Spirit, and then become an atheist and not believe that there's a God. So he's saying, how can you believe there's a God and all this stuff, and then not? And to me, that was so. It was so silly, you know. It's like, you know, I don't know. It was just a silly statement. I mean, what do you mean? How can you believe 1 minute that there's a God, and then you can change your mind and say there's not? And so I sort of texted him and said, well, are you saying that, you know, I asked, well, how can someone say that they're born gay and then later on down the line say they're not gay, you know? But yet they were saying they were born gay before, but now they're saying, no, that's not true. I wasn't born that way. So I don't know. It was just really, it was really silly to me. You know, how can you believe something and then grow up and perceive information from, you know, and actually go looking into things and then say you don't believe? That's quite simple. I mean, that's, you know, it's like, I'm trying to think of a great example, and I don't think I can right now. But, you know, how do I know that water is, you know, H2O? I mean, you know, well, there's proof. I mean, you know, you read your science books, but somebody went and proved this. So I think people who don't believe are saying that, yeah, like, for instance, when I was a kid, I went to church all the time. And I believed. But I can sit there and tell my son, he's got a little Superman pajamas on, you know, and I can tell him he can fly. And I can keep telling him that without any influence from the outside, he'll believe that he can fly. And if I was a sick son of a bitch, I could go up on a second story and tell him to go ahead and test out his wings, and he'd probably do it. Or I'm pretty sure he would do it because he doesn't have anything to reference. So that's how people can believe and then receive more information and then make an educated statement or change their belief. I really think this phone's jacking with my color. Anyway, yeah, so I guess that's all I want to say right now. Looks like I'm running out of time. So yeah, it was really a silly video, so I don't know. You can check it out if you want, but it's probably a waste of everybody's time.